What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to Lights Metal. It's time for a rock metal update. That's right. It's time for a rock and metal update. I apologize for the lack of updates. My computer crashed, and I had to, buy a new computer, reload the programs. It put me very behind with work, which put me behind doing videos. And then, as well, the program that I've been using to edit for the last, 8-10 years, or however long I've been doing this, is now no longer available. At least it's not for free. So I do pay monthly for another program. So I'm like, well, I might as well learn that one. I'm paying for it. And so it's a bit of a learning curve, and that's what's going on. So I'll get more up as I go. However, I am going to be doing a vinyl update coming up. I'm going to be doing a cassette update coming up. I'm going to be doing a bootleg update coming up. Right now, it's going to be a CD update. I don't usually do CD updates, very rarely. I usually do CD, what's spinnings for my car, and those sorts of things. But I had a guy, ask me, he's like, dude, you always do vinyl updates. He goes, I see that stack of CDs behind you. Why don't you ever do CD updates? I prefer CDs. So, right on. I'll do a CD update this time. I do have a nice stack of CDs here, so let's get right into it. Brand new album from the band Trinity. This is Memories of the Ancient Presence. Fantastic, epic doom metal with male and female vocals. They have 3 different singers, 2 female singers, 1 male singer. This is fantastic. I really, really enjoyed this. This is on Soundmass Records, 2022 release. From what I understand, the band spent nearly 10 years making this album. So, like I said, it's just great epic doom, and you'll be hearing that in the background throughout the entirety of this video. Hopefully it's loud enough you can hear it, but not so loud that you can't hear me. Okay. Alright, now this one's kind of interesting. This was given to me by a friend. And then another friend gave me the same CD, but a different version of it. I've always had this. I've got a vinyl version of this. I got a CD version, a regular CD version of this. But my buddy Rob hooked me up with the Mo-Fi pressing, CD pressing, gold disc pressing of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Keep wanting to say Wish You Were Here. I knew that wasn't right. Dark Side of the Moon. And another friend gave me this one, which is another like remixed, or it's very confusing to me, and I haven't had a chance to, I listened to this one and it sounds really, really, really good. This one here seems to be like a I don't know exactly sure. Some of you guys could probably tell me, but I guess it's supposed to be on systems that have, multiple speakers and surround sound, so it's kind of has that kind of different thing going on. Either way, it's interesting that they actually changed the cover art on this and made it purple and made some other minor changes. But regardless, both of them are cool. This does have the cool Mo-Fi CD case. I've got a few other Mo-Fi discs like this that are missing the case. The cases seem to bust after a time, but really cool. Obviously a great album from the early 70s. Not metal, but regardless, it's still rock, and I dig Pink Floyd, so there you go. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, 2 different pressings. Next up, this is one I somehow missed out on. I followed this band pretty religiously, and I'm not sure how I missed it, but this is Doug Pinnick's Tribute to Jimi, a Jimi Hendrix tribute album that Doug Pinnick did by himself, and it's got Are You Experienced, Crosstown Traffic, Fire, If 6 Was 9, Purple Haze, Up From the Skies, All Along the Watchtower, and Voodoo Child, A Slight Return. Really, really enjoyed this. I'm a big fan of Doug's bass playing and King's X, obviously, his vocals, the stuff he's done with Pound Hound, the stuff he's done he's been in so many different bands, but obviously King's X being his main band. But if you're a Hendrix fan and you're a King's X or a Doug Pinnick fan, this is worth checking out. Apparently it was released on vinyl, but I definitely missed out on that because I can't find a copy, but I did grab the CD regardless. Doug Pinnick's Tribute to Jimi Hendrix. What year does this come out? I don't even remember. And of course the text is so itty bitty I can't read it. So, I don't know. Look it up. Okay, what are we on here? This is a brand new release. Self-release from the band Vindicator. This is basically a demo compilation. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks on it. A bunch of demos from Vindicator. Now Vindicator's got a brand new album coming out. Actually, I'll show it to you. I have a pin sitting. I thought I had it right here. I do. Check this out. So Vindicator's brand new album is coming out on vinyl and CD this year. There was a small pressing the band did on CD only that were like CDRs, but it's actually coming out on CD. But this is Communal Decay, and this is one of the pins people who pre-order are going to get. In any case, this one is also out this year. This is the demo release, available from Vindicator's Bandcamp if you want it. If you don't know who Vindicator is, Vindicator are a thrash band. They've been around for about a decade or more now, maybe even 2 decades. Because I'm thinking the early 2000s, probably 2 decades. They have several albums out and EPs, and just a fantastic thrash band. And, Vic Stone is the main guy who he plays guitar, rhythm guitar, and vocals. So check them out if you're interested in Vindicator. I'm a huge fan, so I pretty much buy anything they put out. All right, next up, some melodic hard rock from Tango Down. Gosh, I think this has got to be their 6th or 7th or 8th album, I don't know. But regardless, this is Scott Riff Miller's band. Just, like I said, very melodic, clean vocals. If you're into like 80s style pop metal, you'll probably dig this. It's got big hooks, you know, big drum sound. Very much, even though it's, you know, 2022, very much like that late 80s, early 90s kind of sound to the music, but a modern production. Fantastic artwork too. These guys always have really nice artwork. I actually got to work on one of their jobs 3-4 years ago. I did a vinyl project for them that came out really nice. So I don't think this one is available on vinyl, but this one is on Kaival Records. So melodic hard rock from Tango Down. It's available at obviously at Kaival, but at BoonesOverstock.com as well. Okay, what do we got here? Another one. This is awesome. I'm going to be doing a bootleg and live album vinyl video, but got a couple of bootlegs that came in on CD as well. This is awesome. So this is Thin Lizzy at the Beeb. So it's got let's see, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs recorded in '73 when they were a 3-piece, and including a version of Suicide, which is very different. You can tell it doesn't have the dual guitars, because when the guitar solo happens, it's just Philip Lynott, you know, keeping the groove alive. So really cool hearing Suicide with the original, you know, Eric Bell on guitar. And then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other tracks on here. Most of them early, so you got 75 tracks, which would have put them, you know, as a 4-piece at that point. 2 from '76, and then 1 is a spoken word piece from BBC. Really cool. Really glad to have it. Pretty funny that the photo they have on the inside has nothing to do with any of these tracks. This would have been the very last era of Thin Lizzy with John Sykes in the band. Still, anything Thin Lizzy is welcome in my collection, and this was a very welcome addition. This one as well, this is just a compilation, but still, any Thin Lizzy I collect. Whiskey in a Jar is the name of the compilation. It has 16 tracks. Whiskey in a Jar, Sarah, Version 2, The Rocker, Look What the Wind Blew In, Return of the Farmer's Son, Old Man Madness, Old Moon Madness, Buffalo Gal, Broken Dreams, Vagabonds of the Western World, Black Boys in the Corner, Mama Nature Said, Here I Go, Little Darlin', Dublin, Shades of the Blue Orphanage, and Remembering Part 2. So basically, this is early Thin Lizzy when they were a power trio. Eric Bell on guitar. All right, more bootlegs. Obviously, I don't think I ever do an update without showing something from Aerosmith. I'm always finding Aerosmith stuff. This is obviously a bootleg, live stuff. It's called Love in an Elevator. Not a very, you know, creative title, but Monkey on My Back, Amy's Got a Gun, Young Lust, Fine, Voodoo, Medicine Machine, Ragdoll, Dude Looks Like a Lady, Heart's Done Time, Draw the Line, What It Takes, Mama Kin, Permanent Vacation, Love in an Elevator, and Walk This Way. Recorded live. This is one show all recorded in Switzerland in 1990. Booklet's kind of cool because it has other releases from this series that you can get. So there's some other bands that I'm quite interested in. And just looking here, you can see ZZ Top and Jethro Tull. So, really cool. Like I said, I can't even tell you how many Aerosmith bootlegs I have. Let's just say a lot. And Aerosmith, this one is called Dynamic Live Aerosmith, although that title is nowhere on the cover, but it is on the spine. And the spine just says Walk This Way and Living on the Edge. This is a Japanese pressing, and it actually is pressed in Japan. There is no OB strip for it. Not I'm aware of. I looked it up. I didn't see any online. So there's the insert. Nothing in the inside. Oddly enough, it came with this little piece of paper that was keeping the CD in the case, so I kept that in there because it's actually in Japanese as well. I thought that was kind of fun. But this is kind of a compilation of live stuff. It's not from the same show, even if it says it is somewhere on live. It's a mixture of stuff. So again, a lot of 80s stuff on here. So Dude Looks Like a Lady, Love in the Elevator, Janie's Got a Gun, Ragdoll, Train Kept a Rollin', Dream On, Kings and Queen, No Surprise, Lightning Strikes, Amazing, Walk This Way, Sweet Emotion, Toys in the Attic, Young Lust, The Other Side, Crying, and Living on the Edge. So there you go, Aerosmith and Dynamic Live from Japan. I'll show this one a little bit. A new live album from Iced Earth from the Bang Your Head Festival, a double album live. Apparently this thing is already sold out from what I heard. I guess it was a small pressing, but really, really nice fat booklet with tons of photos and lyrics, which are hard to read because they're too small. And it's green on black. not my. I didn't design this, so. But yeah, it's a really nice package from the Bang Your Head Festival, and it's a double disc, as you can see. So what have we got on here? We've got Dark Saga starting things off, Plagues of Babylon, Democide, Vengeance is Mine, Burning Times, Pure Evil, I Died for You, Betula, Damien, Slave to the Dark, A Question of Heaven, My Own Savior, Dystopia, The Hunter, and Watching Over Me. And I don't think this one was released on vinyl, at least not yet. I snagged the CD as soon as I found that it was available from my buddy Kevin, Metal War God, on YouTube if you're interested in checking out Kevin. Now, this one I bought directly from the band, but this is the brand new Dirty Looks live album. Now, obviously, it's more of a Dirty Looks tribute than it is Dirty Looks, although there are a bunch of Dirty Looks members playing on here. I mean, frankly, Dirty Looks is Henrik, and without Henrik, it'll never be Dirty Looks because he's the guy who started the band. He is the only guy who played on all the albums. But this is really cool because this is the Cool from the Wire era band members coming back, along with Jason McMaster on vocals. Jason, of course, singing for Dangerous Toys and Watchtower, among others. Broken Teeth. Great singer, and he does a good job. He doesn't necessarily try to sound like Henrik, but he has that kind of raspy voice to begin with, so it works well. Really cool live set. It's actually got a DVD on disc too. I've yet to see the DVD. Having time to actually watch DVDs I just don't have a whole lot of time for it. So I much prefer listening to music, and I listened to this disc several times and really enjoyed it. So what do you have on here? It's all classic stuff. There's no like later stuff. There's no really early stuff either. But Put a Spell on You, It's Just the Way You Rock, Cool from the Wire, Get It Right, Tokyo, Turn of the Screw, L.A. Anna, Can't Take My Eyes Off You, No Brainchild, Wasting My Time, Come On Frenchie, Take What You Get, Hot Flash, Jelly Roll, Slam Into the Big Beat, Get Off, Nobody Rides for Free, and it ends with Oh Ruby, which is probably one of their most well-known tracks. So, Dirty Looks, Cool from the Speedway, live album, available direct from the band. There was no record companies involved in this. You can get them on eBay. I see the band is selling them on eBay, but that's the only way. I just send money direct to Jason McMaster, and he sent me a copy. So there you go. Why I didn't think to ask him to autograph it, I don't know. Idiot. I don't think I showed this one before, but if I did, oh well. This is the new Cloven Hoof, which I've been listening to over and over again. Love to get this on vinyl, but this is Time Assassin, is that it? Yes, Time Assassin, and straightforward power metal. George Call on vocals, George Call from Aska, and Banshee. The guy is just one of the best metal vocalists out there right now. He can belt them out, and he's got a great gravelly voice. He's just a great singer, but this is really good music. Obviously, Cloven Hoof are a early new wave of British heavy metal band. This doesn't really sound like the 80s stuff. It's much more modern heavy metal or power metal. And then when I say power metal, I'm not talking like the all double bass, constant Dungeons and Dragons type of stuff, this is more straightforward heavy metal, but a lot of people these days label it power metal. Great band. So It's a band from the UK with an American singer. Cloven Hoof, Time Assassins for 2022. All right, what else we got? 3 more, and the last 2 are kind of box sets. So this is another one that my buddy Rob gave me, but this is Liquor Sweet. If you can't tell from the title and the cover, they are a glam pop metal band. Probably, I didn't even look it up, probably from the late 80s into the early 90s when that kind of music was still very much in vogue, and the bands were no longer really wearing the makeup and looking like Poison. They were just, you know, leather and denim and lace and whatnot, and that's headbands. That's kind of what you got going on here, kind of like Faster Pussycat and that kind of thing. But I really enjoyed this. I was expecting it to be kind of garbage because it's just mostly like demo stuff, but yeah, it's actually pretty good. The beginning of the disc is better than the end, but it's just because it's a mixture of different stuff. You know, the quality is not all the same. Very cool album from what's the name of the label? I forget it already. Eonian. It's on Eonian Records, which a buddy of mine, Rob Caldwell, works with. So, all right, 2 more. This one's fantastic. Again, another band I pretty much buy anything by. I've been a fan of this band since the early 80s. This is Raven's first full-length album, Raven Rock Until You Drop. This is the C4 CD over-the-top edition, and yes, it is. It has everything on it. So 2 discs are live recordings from the early years, from the early 80s. Disc 2 is all demos dating back to their 78 demos. Raven, of course, formed in 74. But amazingly, in 78, they still had that speed metal sound that they're known for. These guys really were early purveyors of speed metal and thrash. Even though they aren't, you know, necessarily a thrash band, there's no doubt about these guys being one of the first to do that just full-on, you know, raging, machine gun riffing, double bass, and all the other craziness that goes along with it. But anyhow, fantastic. The demos are worth the price of admission alone. It's also has the full album on disc 1, as well as a bunch of bonus tracks. So it's got Wiped Out, Don't Need Your Money, which is a B-side 7-inch single. Crazy World, which is also a B-side from, I believe, the Hard Ride single. It's got Let It Rip from the Brute Force compilation, and it's got Inquisitor from the Lead Weight compilation, all early 70s stuff. Great, and let me show you the package a little bit. So it does come with a nice little booklet. I love all the alternate photos from the cover shoot that they didn't use. Kind of cool. And there's another one in the back. But there's just tons of nice long write-up, which I have read. And tons of photos and, you know, flyers and all that kind of stuff. If you like Raven, this is a no-brainer, especially if you're a CD collector. This thing is just fantastic. It's never sounded as good as this, and it's never been as much in one collection as this. So this is all, you know, late 70s and early 80s Raven. So what, basically 78 through 80 or 81. Can't remember what the year. I think Rock Till You Drop came out in 80, but 78 through 80, 81. And this one was kind of a budget thing, and I grabbed it. It was only $5, so I just grabbed it, and I listened to the whole thing and quite enjoyed it. But this is a Judas Priest 39-track compilation, 4 discs. It's not anything fancy. It does have a nice little booklet in it. It's not huge, but it does have a booklet. It's on Columbia Records, but you see, I mean, the track listing here it's pretty spectacular. They kind of kept it in chronological order, which I appreciated, because some of these compilations, it seems like they almost just pull songs out of a hat and they just put them in that order. But this one, they kind of kept it in chronological order, which is nice. So disc 1, Tyrant, Sinner, Let Us Pray, Call for the Priest, Exciter, Better By You, Better Than Me, Stained Class, Invader. By the way, Exciter is the track that made me a Judas Priest fan. It was the first song I had heard by them, and I loved the band from that point on. So anyhow, Invader, The Green Manalishi, which I believe is a live version, Killing Machine, Hellbent for Leather, Delivering the Goods on disc 2, Delivering the Goods, Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight, Metal Gods, Grinder, Hot Rockin', Headed Out to the Highway, Desert Plains, The Hellion, Electric Eye, Screaming for Vengeance, disc 3, Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone, You've Got Another Thing Coming, obviously, Free Will Burning, Jawbreaker, The Sentinel, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll, Turbo Lover, Out in the Cold, Parental Guidance, which is, anyhow, and disc 4, Ram It Down, Blood Red Skies, Painkiller, All Guns Blazing, Judas Rising, Revolution, Prophecy, Persistence and Plague, Pestilence and Plague, tripping over my own words, and Nostradamus. So there you go. A little. I have. It's actually in the plastic, so I don't really want to pull it all apart. But it was only like $5. And there's still copies. The seller had a bunch of copies for like $5 on eBay, so they may still be there if you're interested. Really cool collection. You know, just gave me a chance to put 4 discs in and basically listen to Judas Priest all day long while I was working. So there you go. That is my CD update for, what are we now, July of 2022. I promise I'm going to come back with a vinyl update, cassette update, and a live/bootleg vinyl update. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching. God bless. Stay strong.